let's go.
Let's go.
Oh, did you want to?
Sorry, I'll let you.
Next time.
Well, by now you've seen this Ghostbusters trailer.
Holtzman, you're a brilliant engineer. Aaron, no one's better at quantum physics than you.
Oh my god, this dialogue is so shit. I really hope, like, these lines were just, like, dubbed in for the trailer to help summarize, you know, because there is nothing worse than dialogue that states the obvious. Like, things all the characters involved should already know. And that's the kind of writing you see in the beginning of Scooby-Doo episodes. Like, it sure was nice of your uncle to lend us his cabin for the weekend. Like, yeah, I know, we all know we're in the van on the way there. Do you think I got this far and didn't know that? Why does every ghost here look exactly the same? In the original movies, there were tons of different looking ghosts, and now there's an entire room full of virtually identical ghosts. I mean, clothing might be a little different, but they're all the same shade of bright neon blue. They're almost indistinguishable at first glance. And I guess there's some variety later on in the trailer, but aside from Slimer, I'd say most of them are a little too similar, and it seems a little lazy, you know, on the filmmaker's part to just there's like 3 scenes with these same neon blue ghosts in them. At least that I've seen in the trailer. There could be more. And ghosts are supposed to be scary, you know, like really eerie and just unsettling, and these, they're just not. They're kid friendly, you know. They're just really trying to get kids in those seats and just not trying to spook them too much, because these are bright and colorful and just a little too tangible, you know. And they don't look like ghosts. Ghosts are supposed to be transparent, and these are just big colorful costumes. It's not Ghostbusters. That's kind of the problem. There was a ton of comedy in those old movies, but it wasn't forced. It was just kind of in there. It bled out from the edges of an actual serious and interesting story. And, you know, when humor is generated naturally through, like, situational comedy or from, like, the quirky idiosyncrasies of the characters or their interactions with each other, you get more subtle, realistic, and genuine humor.
You gonna come and shake my monkey tree again? What are you talking about, buddy? The phone lines are over there. What did I say to you? The phone lines are over there.
Hey,
what did I say? How many times?
Hey, you're not with Con Ed or the phone company. We checked. So tell me another one.
I got a major gas leak here. Where do you think all this is coming from? The sky?
You never even had a slinky?
We had part of a slinky, but I straightened it.
Are you the key master?
Not that I know of.
Are you the key master?
Yes. I'm a friend of his. He told me to meet him here.
For the reboot, this actually appears to be the opposite. The story is wedged in around comedy.
Oh, hell no, the devil is a liar! Get out of my friend, Ghost! Ow, that's gonna leave a mark!
That's gonna leave a mark. That's a nice word-for-word rip-off of one of Chris Farley's most recognizable lines.
The power of Patty compels you! Ow!
The power of Patty compels you? Her name is Patty, if you didn't get that, but somebody wrote that dialogue, like, and they made her say it. Now that's obviously from The Exorcist, just a little play on words. The power of Christ compels you, I guess, but I don't know if they mention the word Christ, they might, you know, hurt a potential target market or something, like of atheists or something. So we won't say that. We'll change it to be like to Patty, to just have her say her name. It'll be fine. It'll be great. And I get, for all I know, the power of Christ compels you is actually what they say in real exorcisms, but as far as I can tell, it's from the movie The Exorcist. Why are there parodies in a Ghostbusters movie? It's capable of standing on its own. It's a Ghostbusters movie. it doesn't need to parody anything. It's a Ghostbusters movie. Just make a good movie. Even though that's obviously just a parody, like, it is still kind of another form of stealing and, like, repackaging, because they don't think this movie can stand on its own. They want to just cobble together a bunch of pop culture references and throw them at the audience and just, see, like us. It's good. And it's just like, if you would just make it good to begin with, you wouldn't need any of that. And they obviously have no confidence in their property and their ability to use it. This reboot feels very processed, very strategic. Everything feels like it is just the right amount of generic so it can appeal to specific target markets and not exclude other markets, except for, like, the entire male demographic. Why can't studios just make movies that are good for their own reasons, like, by their own merit? Just make an interesting and compelling story and the viewers will come. They'll show up, You don't have to just fit everything in these little boxes that you just check off. Like, do you think you're going to make a good movie that way? No, that's crazy. You see, now we've done extensive market research, and we've found that the average moviegoer doesn't really care about things like substance and watchability. So, making a movie with love and care is just pointless. This is a business after all, and we're trying to appeal to sheep, as many sheep as possible, because that's all moviegoers are to us, sheep, and they don't understand or appreciate clever writing or subtle characters or natural humor. All they care about are bright colors and loud noises, and if we can cram enough of that into the trailer, then people will show up just to see what all these noises are about, and that's as far as we thought before we greenlit this project. You really have to kind of wonder if that is actually somewhat of a true perspective with studio executives, like, because they couldn't think of us as anything but sheep. Like, we're numbers, obviously, it's a business, but, like, the conclusion is the same. Like, loud noises, just let's get their blood pumping, and oh god, they're gonna love all these colors. It's just gonna be great. It's just gonna be amazing. The old Ghostbusters wasn't just a comedy. It had these very serious, visceral moments that were almost chilling. Like, Ghostbusters should definitely be fun, but it should also be wonderfully creepy. Now, I'm not saying this reboot can't or won't have moments like these, but would a movie so preoccupied with slapstick comedy even bother with simple moments like this? Of course, the library scene in the beginning of the trailer is, basically a shot-for-shot remake of the original library scene in the first Ghostbusters. Not exactly, but it's very similar. And it kind of feels like Ghostbusters should, and that's probably why they put it right away in the beginning of the trailer, just to kind of hook you. It's very similar, except for the whole ghost vomit thing at the end, and that's how they enhanced it, just made it just a tad more colorful. I can't help but feel like this movie exists simply to show what it'd be like if everything we knew about Ghostbusters was opposite, like a parallel universe. In the same way that in Adventure Time, Ice King imagines a world of characters with every gender flip-flopped, and, from time to time viewers are subject to an episode that is a glimpse into that world. It's interesting, I guess, but only in small doses. And, it's sort of what this is. I'm not saying a movie with 4 female leads and no real male lead can't hold my attention, but what they've done is completely exclude me from the target demographic. There is no character in this movie for me to live vicariously through. There's really, the entire purpose of watching the movie is to escape into it, and I'm not allowed to do that anymore because there's no male lead. And if they really wanted to maximize profits, they should have had 2 female leads and 2 male leads. And then they could even have, romantic tension and shit, honestly, who doesn't kind of root for a little romantic tension, because you want to see the characters hook up, that's part of movies. But the more I think about it, that would probably resemble the Scooby-Doo formula a little too closely or something, but, it seems like they could have done something besides 4 females, because it's different for the sake of being different, and not that it is wrong movie because it is 4 females, it's just half of the world's population is freaking men, and, are there male love interests? I guess in the old ones, Dana was, the female love interest, and maybe women could connect with her, but apart from, Chris Hemsworth, who's probably barely in this, I don't know why he would want to devote a lot of time to something like this as a receptionist, but it just seems like it's excluding the male demographic almost entirely, so it's a concern of mine. One of the most likable things about the original Ghostbusters movies was Bill Murray's Peter Venkman, and now Peter is a lot of things, but no description is more fitting than womanizer. He's a complete womanizer. He just wants to get in women's pants, and you see it again and again in these movies, and that's his goal.
Tell you what, I'll take Miss Barrett back to her apartment and check her out. I'll go check out Miss Barrett's apartment.
That's the bedroom, but nothing ever happened in there.
What a crime.
Don't put any of those old cheap moves on me.
No.
It's different.
I have all new cheap moves.
Kinda makes you wonder, doesn't it? Wonder what? Whether she's naked under that toga. She's French. You know that.
This is why when you reboot it with the 4 women, the vibe will just be different. It'll never be the same no matter how hard they try, and it's because that's part of the male American culture. It's just the hunt for the women, and it's not like Venkman was a rapist, he was a woman chaser, and there was nothing wrong with that. And it's just, maybe it's a little bit too much of an 80s outlook, but it's different, obviously, and it won't be the same because that character is just gone from the story. What makes this reboot a bad idea is not the gender shift. It is how they handle the torch passing, or the lack thereof. Beyond acknowledging the former Ghostbusters in the beginning of the trailer, there is really no other mention of the previous films. And the cast acts as if this whole ghostbusting thing is their idea, and I kind of have a problem with that. I mean, you could say that is what a reboot is, and but if you're going to do it that way, why even acknowledge the originals at all? Like they're saying, hey, remember that thing you really liked? Back when life was simpler? Well, this isn't that, but it's sort of similar. But the truth is that I'd say too much time has passed. I mean, they could never make a movie now that would be a good sequel. The only thing they could have done is pass the torch in the same way that Star Wars just did. If you're going to acknowledge that there were Ghostbusters 30 years ago in the beginning of the trailer, you can't really make a movie that acts like they never existed. I would almost be fine with this story if, Melissa McCarthy's character was actually like Dan Aykroyd's daughter in the movie. I don't think there'd be anything wrong with that. And they couldn't let themselves do that. And I think if you have that familial tie, the audience is more likely to just follow you along on the ride. So really, in conclusion, I'd say the problem with this is that they are simply banking on name recognition to bring people back to the theater, and you can tell they don't really care about the end product. Like, they just, why not make a female ghost hunter movie that is completely unrelated? It's like, well, no one would see that then. Like, well, so you put the name Ghostbusters on it and now they will? Like, all they did was take the basic elements, the basic elements like the name, the logo, the suits, the car, and just change everything else. And it's, if you have that little respect for the original, you're gonna upset some fans, and it's, I don't know, like, I guess they can't get their money back once they go to see how much they don't like it, but it's just kind of a problem.
We're the best, we're the beautiful, we're the only Ghostbusters.
So, what did you think of the new Ghostbusters trailer? Am I just completely off base? Did this trailer somehow ruin your childhood? Let me know in the comments below, and be sure to subscribe for more content like this, and thanks for watching.